Hi everyone, I'm CoreyJoe and welcome to Commander Class, episode 65. In today's class we're going to be doing something new. We've gone over lands, we've gone over enchantments, we've gone over all the artifacts, and now we're going on to the instances. So when it comes to this video, it's going to be slightly different from the rest. It's going to be the first one of every single card type. I'll go over a generalization of what an instant is, then give a few examples, and then hopefully give a few hints and tips of what other instances we might be going through in the next few classes. Now when it comes to the instances, there's not many variations of type. Instances are kind of just instances with only maybe a handful, I think in total 4 different variations of them. So again, these instant classes are going to be very small and very precise. So let's go on to what is an instant. An instant is a card type like enchantments, lands and artifacts. However, they are a non-permanent type, which just basically means it doesn't stay on the field. When you cast it with the mana cost or any other way, it literally enters the stack, which is pretty much the best way to see it. Is imagine the field is at the bottom where you play all your cards. When you play a card, just imagine it rise from the bottom and going to the... so imagine it stand from the top and going to the bottom. When it comes to, we'll say you casting a land and a creature and an enchantment, you play your land first, your creature, and then your enchantment. This is called a stock. Yes, a stock. I think it's called stock. I know there is a word for it. My head's gone blank at the moment. Stack. It's called a stack. A instant, pretty much it goes down, and then when it has its time to do what the card says, it then goes to your graveyard or exile depending on the card. So it's one of those that it doesn't stay on the field, because at the end of your turn or the end of the stack, the land stays there, the enchantment stays there, and the creature stays there unless it's been counterspelled or killed or something like that. But the instant goes. Pretty much that's it. Pretty much when it says what the card has done, it goes into your graveyard or exile, or depending if the card says anywhere else, or there's many other variations of people like, we'll say, returning it back to your hand or something like that. It goes where it's placed, but it never stays on the field for as long as it's casted for. So when it comes to instances, there is a thing, and I pretty much have to make my own video on it. It is called the stack, but it's pretty much first in, last out, I think is the main ruling of it. Where if you play an instant that lets you make a 4/4 creature, and then they counterspell it, and then you counterspell it, your counterspell goes off first to counter their counterspell, which then lets you play the instant that makes the token creature, because it's first one in, last one out. It's how that works. I'll make a video on it later on. And the other good thing about instances is they are the only card type that can be played at what is called instant speed. There are cards that you can play at instant speed, but this is the only card type that you can play pretty much whenever you have the chance. So if someone plays a spell, it starts a stack, you're allowed to play an instant on anyone's turn, as long as you have the mana to pay it. Now there's ways you can do it. You can add flash into your deck, which is a keyword which I will be going over, but it pretty much just turns, if you have creatures have flash, your creatures now can enter at instant speed. So instances are the only card type that don't need a keyword for you to play on other people's turns, and that's what makes these quite powerful. When it comes to instances, as of recording this, there is 3,281 different instances. They all come in a variation of common and uncommon, rare and mythic, all variations of art. There is some cards that over the years will be we'll say an uncommon that turn into a rare because of upshifting and stuff, but without counting any alt arts, any upshifting or downshifting, there is the 3,281 different variations of just the single cards. When it comes to these, there is majority just instances, but there are different variations of them, which I will be going over in later videos. There's creatures with instant abilities, there's tribal and stuff like that. There's not many, so the instant classes are going to be quite short. But this is the part of the video where I'm going to give a kind of brief variation of different versions of them. I'm going to go over multicolored ones and then monocolored ones in order of WUBRG, where if you don't know what WUBRG is, it is the 5 colors of Magic the Gathering in kind of a white, blue, black, red, green order, where the blue for WUBRG is the second letter because it can't be WBB and then the rest. So when it comes to this, I will be showing off multicolored, which is cards that have more than one colored pip, and then I'll be going over like maybe 5 of each of the WUBRG colors to kind of give you a gist of what instances kind of do in that color bracket. So we'll start off with the multicolored ones. So you get Anguished Unmaking, Assassin's Trophy, Chance for Glory, Counterflux, and Deflecting Palm. Now when it comes to the monocolor ones, the reason I'm doing it this way is so when I've read out a few of the cards, you kind of get like, oh, if I want to build a white deck, what kind of instances would you likely to see? Because again, you won't see them all the same. So for example, like making creatures is mainly a green thing, doing straight damage is mainly a black or red thing, kind of regeneration or making people discard their hand is mainly a black thing. So we'll go over starting off with the white ones. Beacon of Immortality, Clever Concealment, Cosmic Invention, Divine Deflection, Etude. Now we're going to go on to the blue ones. These are probably the most famous ones out of all of them. Blue is mainly an instant counterspell thing. If you've ever played Magic the Gathering, you probably know there's been memes about it and stuff like that of blue players just constantly counterspelling. So you get blue cards such like Crafting Counterpart, Commander's Insight, Condemned Endgame, Counterlash, Cryptic Command. And now we are going on to the black ones. These are mainly like exiling stuff, making people discard, -1/-1 counters, which again gets rid of Indestructible. You get cards such like Black Sun's Twilight, Consume the Meek, Corpse Dance, Curtain Call, and Deadly Relic. Now the red ones, these are mainly damage spells, but there is some other ones that do like you get to exile the top card of your library and play until the end of your turn or the end of your next turn. There's also one of my favorite cards, Chaos Swap and stuff like that. So we'll go over the red cards. You get red cards such like Chaos Swap, Char, Comet Storm, Commute with Lava, and Deflecting Swat. And then finally green. This is mainly making creatures, making like different types of elephants and beasts and stuff like that, putting 1/1 counters on them, or ramping. That's mainly when it comes to green. So you get really cool green instances like Berserk, Bounty of Might, Chord of Calling, Crash the Party, Decree of Savagery. So now that we've gone over majority of instances, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. While you're down there, remember to like, subscribe, and follow me on all my social media. If there's any instances you love, let me know, or that you absolutely use all the time. Let me know in the comments down below too. Remember to watch more of these Commander videos or other videos I have like this. But as always, we have last week's Commander class here, a playlist with all the Commander classes here, and a subscribe button here. But as always, I want to thank you, and I will see you all in the next class.